take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
Here we go.
All right, welcome back to Movie Matrix. As always, my name is Jordan. We got Matt.
Ka-chow.
Got my dad.
What's going on?
Also known as David. And today, we are doing our regular stuff. We've got a couple segments for you. We're going to continue our 2023 review. So
Yes, we are.
Be excited for that. I will be putting timestamps in. I'm letting you guys have a little more leeway of where you can know where to go. I'm getting crazy with it. But first, we're going to start with a news segment. We're going to start doing this where we kind of talk about some of the news we see each week. And this week, you're taking over. Actually, I got them pointing down. That's where you're going to be. So you're taking over.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week we had a couple of news stories that came out. The first one we'll talk about is Alex Goddard, man. Garland. Alex Garland. Says he wants to retire from making films.
What a jerk.
This is,
Yeah,
you know,
what a
this
jerk.
is, this, I, you know, he's made some movies that, you know, they're not necessarily the huge box office successes, but man, they're good. And they're the type of movies that I want to go see as far as creatively, the way that he makes them is just, you know, you're talking like, you know, what, Ex Machina, you're talking.
Especially
like,
men.
Yeah, I mean.
He also made Annihilation.
There's one, Annihilation. You know, he did Dread. I enjoy Dread. I don't know if people enjoy Dread or not, but I don't care. I enjoy
okay.
it.
What's the
I think
TV
it's
show that
fun.
he did?
Oh, God.
Oh, what is the name of that? That's
You wouldn't ask. I could tell you right now.
yeah, I could have too.
Matt.
Devs?
Yes,
Yeah,
he did
yeah.
Devs.
Okay.
I never watched it.
I pulled that out of my butt.
But I mean, as far you know, his writing too. I mean, he wrote you know, like 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, Sunshine.
Love all those movies.
I think he wrote.
Danny Boyle, baby.
He actually wrote the novel for The Beach, and then then did the screenplay.
What'd you call me? I'm just kidding. Go
You
ahead.
heard me.
What's The
I don't.
Beach?
I don't
That,
stutter.
Brad Pitt movie.
Oh.
I
God.
thought it
No,
was
Leo
Leo
DiCaprio.
DiCaprio.
God,
When you said
they're
it,
the same guy.
When I said
they're
it,
the same guy.
I saw Leo.
Exact same person.
Sorry, it's Leo. I get The Beach and The Mexican confused. Both 2000 movies with Leo and Brad Pitt. Don't know why.
They're just the same. Yeah.
Don't know
Wow. And then his newest movie, Civil War, is getting ready to come out, and I've heard it's fantastic. Everywhere I look, everybody's just saying, you know, this is his movie. This is his best ever, and it's going to be fantastic. And you know, I hope it is. But man, you hate to see a really good director just say, "Hey, you know, I think I'm done." And I kind of understand it because what I'm hearing is that, you know, as directors, they make these movies the way they want them, and then studios get involved and they start saying, "We want this cut, we want this done, we don't give you complete free access because it's, you know, we're paying you to do this." And I can kind of see, you know, that aspect of it, and I think what he said is he's ready to go back to writing. You know, he was a novelist beforehand. He writes great screenplays. And I think that's what he wants to do now, just go back to the writing aspect of it, and you know, and go on from there. But you know, and then maybe eventually one day he might come out and, you know, do another movie. I don't know, but right now it's like it just seems like he wants to quit.
Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry. Were you about to
Go
talk?
ahead.
I just
Go
cut.
ahead. You're fine.
I think Alex Garland is. I think he's brilliant. I think Ex Machina is pretty much a masterpiece, and I think Annihilation is very ambitious, very well done. It may not be 100% your cup of tea, but he definitely swings for the fences. And even with films like Men, I don't think that may certainly not be your cup of tea, but he certainly makes interesting, thought-provoking films.
Absolutely.
Whether you're 100% on board or not. And again, I have not seen his upcoming film Civil War yet. I'm very looking forward to that. I can see why he may want to have a weight lifted off of his shoulders and just stick to screenwriting and not have the burden of being writer-director for all of his pictures and whatnot. Because I don't know if he has a family or anything. That may have a play. That may have something to do with it.
Yeah.
He may want to spend more time with his family. He also may want to pull from like the Quentin Tarantino jar, where Tarantino says, you know, I only want to make this many films because after so long, I may not realize it, but I'm only going to have so many stories to tell, and I don't want to continue making films if they're going to be garbage.
And Tarantino seems like he's sticking to that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, and it may be something to do like that. He may not want to continue making films because he may be afraid, like, I'm not going to have very many good ideas, which I think is poppycock. But it's kind of bittersweet. But as long as he continues writing films and gets competent directors and whatnot, I think it'll still be pretty cool.
Yeah, as long as it keeps writing. Ex Machina is one of my favorites. We all, if you follow this, it's very true. I like Annihilation. We watched it recently. I'm excited for Civil War, but I don't know. I haven't been like awed by any of the trailers. I don't know what it is about it. It just seems whatever.
I think it's a hard movie to market. Really.
It could be.
I don't know.
It could be as epic. We don't know. But if you can keep writing, there is something to be said about a director that is self-aware. Because which we talked about in a reel, which you can go check on all the platforms. Spielberg is probably and Scorsese are probably the best examples of this, where like they've made so many movies. You're gonna have some stinkers,
and they love making movies so much that they're just going to continue, even if they're not all great.
Because Spielberg, as we talked about, kind of is he's feels like he hadn't made a good one in a while. Scorsese he's made movies, but the people haven't loved them. I'm not saying Kills Five Men was bad by any means, but they haven't been getting the clout that he's been getting. So there's something we said, like with Nolan's only made so many, Denis only made so many. Those are the top two in my opinion right now.
Yeah.
And then Alex Garland, if he just wants to make a couple, and they're great, which all of them but Men, in my opinion, have been great. Men is just, it is good.
It's ambitious.
But it's just different.
I liked Men, and but it's not for everybody, that's for sure. It's definitely not for everybody.
When you pair the 24, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Ex Machina, great. Men, interesting. I didn't hate it. I have it. But no, I don't love the idea that a person's made some great movies is stopping.
Yeah.
But I also understand it, because I'd rather have great movies than bad ones. Like Denis took forever to do the Dunes, and Dune Messiah is now happening. He's making another epic. I'm up for that.
What's the title of that new Denis Villeneuve film?
It's the same as
Nuclear War.
Same as the book. I don't know.
Nuclear War. I'm not familiar with it, but he's making a film. I'm on board.
But I'm all for it. If maybe he'll come back out of the woodwork. He's like, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
So
because he's fairly young, I think. He's like, I don't know, in his 40s maybe.
He's 52 or 3,
Never
I
mind.
think.
Never mind.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Age is just a number.
That's still young, okay.
That's still young. Scorsese's 85.
Nolan's old too. Nolan's older too. I mean,
I think he's early 50s right now.
Yeah. So that's the news segment, right? Is that what
we had one more to talk about.
Go ahead.
Oh, you had
but
one
if
more
want
story?
to,
Yeah,
sure.
It was just released that they're making another Matrix movie.
Yes.
Let me cook.
I knew you were going to say
Now
that.
I just
Let me
man.
Okay.
So like this one is Drew Goddard.
Yes.
He apparently is a huge fan of the Matrix. From the
Who
original.
isn't,
Okay.
Best
And
movie.
he had this
Sucks.
idea, and so he actually took it to Warner Brothers and said, "Hey, here's my idea. What do you think?" And they said, "Yeah, we love it. Why don't you go ahead and do it?" So he is going to be writing and directing, and I'm really torn about this.
I love your just exasperated.
I am. Well, did you watch the last one?
Oh, we went to theaters.
I saw it.
We saw it in theaters.
We went to theaters and wasted
So-
like $12.
So now you understand my frustration. When you have, especially the first Matrix. I mean, come on, it is a classic. It is fantastic.
Some people
It
might say
changed
it's the
the
best
way
movie
that
ever made.
I think it's
changed the
pretty
way
trash.
that movies are made. Changed the way that movies are made, in a lot of aspects. And then we got the last installment that just it almost felt like it crapped on the whole series.
What was it even called?
Resurrection.
Yeah, I was like, it's not Revolution. That's the third one.
Resurrections.
I forgot already.
You just blocked it out of your memory.
Yeah.
And now, Warner Brothers is like, okay, yeah, we're really behind this and we want to do this. And of course, now it has not been announced if anybody's coming back from the original. We don't know. We don't know who's going to be
I don't
in
know
this
what's
yet.
better
I'd
not
almost
to.
rather them just do a whole different story. In the
me too.
Matrix.
Me too, but it's just so frustrating after the last one. Warner Brothers was way behind that one. And look what we got. Can we just let the series die? I mean, unless this is like the epic, fantastic, wonderful what we saw from the first one, let the thing die. Let it go. I mean, I think the story's been told. Maybe he's come up with a new idea. It's the Matrix. You can do just about anything, but I'm just not sure about this.
Jordan, I'll let you cook. Go ahead.
Yeah, it really just depends. So, some people will know this. The Matrix is my favorite movie ever. So it hurts my heart when we get bad ones, because I like Reload and I like Revolutions enough. They're not as good, but I think they're fun and you can have fun with them.
Yeah.
But I think that trilogy, honestly, it's a coherent
It's not
trilogy.
a terrible trilogy.
No,
on its
and
own.
it does end everything. Like,
Yeah.
in a way that you could see that he saves everybody. He is the one. He can do it without being the Matrix, blah, blah, blah. Then the newest one was just like, what if we just
disrespected
all of it? This one, I don't know what I would want. I don't know if I want... I always want Keanu Reeves in the movie. It doesn't matter what movie. I don't know if I want Neo back. Like, what if they do this? Maybe they just because even the what's his name? The person that makes all of them, the Matrix he even says like it keeps happening, so maybe they're just gonna do a different Matrix.
No, the architect.
The architect, like maybe they're just gonna say, well, he did save this one, but we're gonna do it so there's the one.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want any young old version of Morpheus. I don't want all this other crap. If we're gonna do it, bring everyone back. But they're so old now. It's like, what are you gonna do as far as like action wise? Keanu gets to do his action. But I don't think Lawrence Fishburne's doing any action right now. So I don't know.
I was gonna say the only thing kind of makes me a little bit excited about it is that Goddard has written some great stuff.
That's what I was just about to bring up.
He has,
Yeah,
but I just don't know about
He's
it.
associated with the Cabin in the Woods. He did The Martian. He's done a lot of good.
Maybe we get a horror Matrix.
He's done a lot of good
Cool.
things. So
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, who knows?
I think it's interesting because if they were to just say, "Oh, new Matrix film in development from the director of Captain Marvel," I don't know. Like I would
Right.
be like freaking great, woohoo! I wouldn't care whatsoever. I think Drew Goddard has he since he's set to write and direct. He's written Cabin in the Woods. He wrote The Martian. He wrote and directed Bad Times at the El Royale, which I enjoyed quite a bit.
I did too.
I like it too.
So that right there alone, I'm like, if he has an idea for a universe that's existed for many, many years now, and he brings it to Warner Brothers and says, "Hey, this is my idea," and they're on board right off the bat, I think there's got to be something there. Now they very well could be doing it for the cheddar. Why every studio does anything? It's for the money. I understand it's a business; they got to make money, but at the same time, it's got to be a decent idea too. And I think he's a talented filmmaker, a talented enough filmmaker to bring an interesting new story to life. Again, we don't even know what the story is. It could have nothing to do with Neo, Morpheus, Trinity, any of them.
Exactly.
If it doesn't, I'm actually okay with that. Show us something different, like friggin' Animatrix. I don't care, just
Right.
anything. So I am. I say this about a lot of fans. I say this almost anytime M. Night Shyamalan makes a movie. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stay that way.
I'm gonna watch it. Anything Matrix, I will watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll see when they start getting like castings. If they give a synopsis, that's when I'll start really be able to give a real gung ho. Because right now I'm not a huge fan of the idea.
Yeah.
Just because I think you have a good 3 movies. Like it's a cohesive trilogy, like I said.
Well, they've already ruined the trilogy, so why not keep going? Right?
No one even cares about that one anymore. So, anyways, yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, okay, woohoo. I don't know. I'm hit or miss. On
I think
that
it's hard to
just
get
'cause
excited about it at this point.
I don't know how to get excited about anything that's a remake or legacy. We just talked about that. It's like I don't know if it's gonna be legacy. I don't know if it's remake. I don't know if it's just a continue. How can you continue with that story? Because I think it's ended pretty well, but then the sunrise comes up, so the architect made. I don't know. Whatever. The savior, or whatever. I don't know. So, yeah, that's the news this time. Let us know what you think about it. I mean, if you think it's a good idea, bad idea, any other things that come up, just let us know, and we'll try to comment on it or talk about it on the pod. We'll transition to what's in the box. This is just kind of what we watched this week and or bought. If you didn't watch a lot of stuff, you can talk about some of the stuff you bought, I guess. Who wants to go first here?
Pick me.
Go ahead.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Matt, why don't you go?
I watched a lot of random stuff. Actually, I got on a Jim Carrey kick this week, boys. That's
Nice.
what I did. Starting off, Jordan hung out at my house for a little bit. We watched Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
I'm sorry.
There's some genuinely hilarious moments in these films. They are ridiculous cartoons, and if you can just embrace that, there's some genuinely hilarious moments in these films. But they're dumb. Anyway, watch Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. Then we watched The Truman Show. My wife and I did. My wife, it's one of her favorite films, and we've never watched it together for some reason. But we watched it, and I was going, yeah, I've seen The Truman Show. It's been a long time, but I've seen it. As I'm watching it, I'm going, I don't remember anything about this movie whatsoever. But I tell you what, it was brilliant
Very
and
good.
delightful
Yeah.
and kind of horrifying, but at the same time, just brilliant. I thoroughly enjoyed The Truman Show. And then to finish off the Jim Carrey kick we got on, I watched The Number 23, which is a film came out in 2007,
okay.
directed by the late, great Joel Schumacher. I tell you what, Joel Schumacher had a run. After Batman and Robin, he did like Phone Booth, and then, gosh, what else did he do? And then The Number 23. He just had a weird mystery thriller run there for a while. And The Number 23 is just something. I don't know. Have you seen it, David?
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, I've all seen it.
It's part of me, part of my brain. There's a small voice in the back of my head that's saying, this film is kind of genius. And then there's a louder voice in my brain saying, this film is painfully stupid and clumsy.
It's one of the first movies that I remember seeing Jim Carrey do a serious role,
Mm-hmm.
and
It's kind
just based on that, yeah. But I mean, just based on that too, he kind of had the chops to pull it off.
Yeah.
And
it's just
Great movie, no, but it's okay to watch.
Like I said,
mean,
it just felt really clumsy and stupid.
Right.
But also, I'm like, this is kind of working. I don't know. It's weird.
It's
very odd.
I'm in the middle of it.
I can't say it was good. That's for sure. And then I thought about going through some Scorsese films I hadn't seen. I watched Cape Fear. God, Robert De Niro is just a disgusting freak in that movie.
He pulls it, doesn't he?
He makes it work. I mean, he makes it work. And it was pretty solid. It was a pretty solid film. Scorsese doesn't really miss, though. I mean, even his misses are just okay films.
Yeah.
But Cape Fear was pretty good. And then I was listening to a podcast with Eli Roth and Quentin Tarantino, and they recommended a 80s slasher that I'd never heard of called Happy Birthday to Me.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Of course you have, David.
Of course.
This is an obscure slasher from 1981. This is when you were getting your holiday slashers. You had Black Christmas, April Fool's Day. They're like, hey, why not birthdays? So they made this film. As far as a slasher goes, it's pure cheese. It's just it's exactly what you think it would be. There's horrible performances.
Yep.
There's stilted dialogue. There's absolutely horrendously stupid characters throughout the film. I kind of had a fun time with it, though. It's on Tubi if anybody wants to check it out. I kind of had a fun time with it. The final, third act is very convoluted, but the final third act is just certifiably insane. It's a wild time.
You ever watch April Fool's Day?
I actually have not seen April Fool's Day.
Check that one out. You want cheese?
Okay, well, I don't know. I just got in a weird 80s slasher
You want
mood,
cheese?
so I
Check
watched
it out.
Happy Birthday to Me. And then most recently, I saw a few people online talk about a horror short that I watched on YouTube called Portrait of God. My brother actually recommended it to me, and then I saw a few people talking about it online the next day. I thought that was very weird. And it's just, go to YouTube. It's 7 or 8 minutes. It's very, very well done, micro budget horror short that is really cool. So I definitely recommend that checking that out as well.
That's funny because I came across that the other day, and
Really?
I've saved it to watch later. Yeah.
You should. It's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I have not come across it, so I've never heard of that.
Okay, what have I watched this week? Let's see. I watched Pump Up the Volume. You guys ever seen that?
I have not seen Pump Up the Volume.
Old Christian Slater movie.
Well, that's why I haven't seen it.
Christian Slater just gets on all of my nerves. I don't know why. He's just one of those guys like Vin Diesel. I just don't like his face. I don't know.
You take that back.
No, I'm not taking it back.
Family.
Look, I like the story. This is one that I watched when it first came out. It was 1990, I think.
Old.
Yeah, whatever. He plays a high school kid. It's kind of a high school.
He's
angst.
36. Yeah,
Yes,
playing high school kid.
it's kind of a high school
trope.
angsty type movie. His family just moves into town, and he has a pirated radio station that he runs out of his bedroom.
Of course he does.
And his personality, his on-air personality is completely different from what you see in real life. And he kind of he motivates the students in the school, and just all these different takes. It's just kind of, like I said, a teenage angst type movie. It's actually pretty good.
Maybe one of these days I'll check it
you
out.
should check it out.
With a title like that, I thought it was a
it's
prequel
not-
to Step Up.
No.
Too bad.
It's not bad. It was fun to watch. Nice to relive it anyway. Watch Leap of Faith. You seen that one with Steve Martin?
No.
No, I've not.
It's got Steve Martin. It's got Deborah Winger. It has Meatloaf. It has
The food
Philip-
or the singer?
yes, the singer.
in.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it.
I've heard another podcast I listened to recommended this movie fairly recently, and I heard it was great. I
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
it's pretty. It came out in 92 maybe. Steve Martin is a kind of a televangelist preacher, but what they do is they go around to different towns and they do revivals is their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a complete and total con man.
Yeah.
And Deborah Winger is kind of his sidekick behind the scenes. And they go into this small town. Their bus breaks down. They decide they're gonna set up tent, and the story goes from there. It's actually pretty good. It's almost like a redemptive type story. But you see how they kind of con people throughout the whole movie, and it's just really, really, really good. I enjoyed it. I think I watched it when it first came out. I've seen it again, so it was good. Grand Budapest Hotel. I don't know. It's just a good movie.
It's very good.
You know,
it's my favorite.
I don't know what
Wes
to say
Anderson
about it.
movie.
Yeah, it is. It's funny. It's great. Whatever. You guys ever seen Paint Your Wagon?
No.
This
I
was
don't know how you stumble on it. I mean, I had a very
Look.
very vast type of films that I watch. I don't know how you stumble onto these
these are
movies, David.
stuff that I've seen when I was younger, and this was like made in like late '60s or something like that. This is Clint Eastwood, Lee Marvin, and it's a musical, dudes. And
Sounds great.
Paint
it's about
your wagon.
it's about the gold rush.
I've never even heard of this. It's a Clint
Really?
Eastwood film. I don't think I've ever
Yes.
heard of this.
Well,
I don't know what planet I've been on. I
check
guess.
it out. He sings in it. They all do.
Is he like
Good.
Russell Crowe in Les Mis?
Yes,
Is
I'm
it pretty
sure.
tough to
I
get through?
don't know that it's that bad, but it's just not great. But the story is good. It's kind of long, but the story is good. It's about a gold rush. Two guys who end up fighting over a woman. It's just
Tale as old as time, right there.
Yeah.
it's a good watch. It's a fun watch. I don't know that it's really high on a lot of people's. And the reason why I bring it up is because they just put it out on Blu-ray and 4K. Kino Lorber did, and so I bought it from them. And I enjoy the movie. Last night I watched, since my wife is out of town, I can pretty much watch what I want now. So that's pretty much the only great perk about it. I watched Aliens last night,
Nice.
which I hadn't seen in a while.
It's good.
Yep, great movie.
I
Enjoyed
rewatched it when we talked about the
Did you?
Alien trilogy. Yeah, it's good.
Great. I enjoyed it again. Yeah, good sequel. From there it kind of goes downhill. And then I watched A Ghost Story, which I had never seen
Yeah.
before. And I actually enjoyed it quite a bit. I know people talk about how it's kind of slow and it's kind of, it doesn't do a whole lot, but that's kind of the magic of the movie. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Enjoyed seeing it. Just really got behind it. I wasn't sure what to expect. And it just surprised me all the way around. And I really, really kind of enjoyed it.
Who made that? Is that A Ghost Story? Is that David Lowery who did
It's David Lowery.
The Green Knight and
Yes.
what else has he done?
Yeah.
Pete's Dragon.
Um,
I feel like if not, I don't know
it
where I
could be
got
Pete's
that
Dragon,
from.
Yeah.
And
I'm looking right now.
I'll just do a quick what I bought this week. About Pump Up the Volume, bought Leap of Faith, Grand Budapest Hotel, Paint Your Wagon.
So all the movies that you watched.
Bought Gorky Park. You ever seen that?
No,
It's a
I've not.
80s Russian spy thriller.
I've been really falling down on my 80s Russian films.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you should watch it. It's
I
pretty
know.
good.
I
Okay,
might
yeah,
not have
together.
ever seen one.
I think this one has like Lee Marvin, John Hurt.
Oh, so it's not Russian.
No, and
Oh.
I can't remember who else is in it. But it's a really, really good spy thriller. Buried Alive. You ever seen that one?
I've seen Buried with
Jennifer
Ryan Reynolds.
Jason
so.
Lee's in it. I can't remember the guy. Basically, what it is Jennifer Jason Lee is married to this guy, and they live in his hometown, and she wants to get out of the marriage. She's having an affair with the doctor. The doctor says, "Hey, why don't we poison him?" And
Nice.
they take care of him. So they use like the poison of like a pufferfish, and decide to poison him, and they end up burying him alive. And then the story kind of takes off from there. I'm not going to go any detail if you guys decide to watch it. So,
We'll see.
it's kind of a cheesy old. I don't know if it's the late '80s, early '90s, but it was. I thought it was pretty good. And then I bought the 4K for Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, nice.
So there you go.
Very nice, very nice. David Lowery is the director of The Green Knight, A Ghost Story, Peter Pan, and Wendy. So there's that.
Oh, I missed that one.
Pete's Dragon, and then a bunch of stuff I haven't heard of. So
I
Oh,
knew I
and
wasn't pulling that Pete's Dragon out of
that
nowhere.
Robert Redford, the old man and the gun, or whatever.
I've never
movie.
seen that.
Me either. I just
I
know
want to
it-
see that.
Turns out David Lowery did it.
Hmm.
So,
Make some
okay,
interesting films.
yeah, I would say 2 pretty good ones, and the other ones are just okay.
You don't know, you haven't seen them.
Depending on the ones I've seen.
Tell us the 485 films you've watched this week, Jordan.
I haven't watched that many. Okay.
Please.
No, I don't believe that.
I watched a Korean epic movie called Along with the Gods, The Two Worlds. Not the greatest title, but it's on Peacock. It's basically about a guy that dies, and he has to go to trial against 7 different hells, and if he fails a trial, he has to serve so many years in that hell. And it's like
Wow.
it's a Korean. It looks really good, actually. It's like it's kind of over the top, of course, because most Korean movies tend tend to be,
That's
but
racist.
it's not. And good acting, good visual. It's got a lot of good stuff going for it. He ends up being a paragon, which means that he gets to go faster through the trials. But he's got 2 or 3 like basically lawyers, right? But they have powers also, and they're trying to get him through because if in the afterlife, if you can get your people through after you get like so many, you can be reborn. And if you get through these trials, you can be reborn as what you want in the real world.
How did you even come across this?
One of the guys that I like on TikTok was talking about it. And there's also a sequel called Along with the Gods, the 49th.
Because I kind of want to watch it.
Yeah, I recommend it hard. It's really good. I found it to be awesome. I mean, obviously you have to read. You could watch the dub version, but it is bad.
All dub
the
versions
dub
are?
is bad. I accidentally started watching it. Like I was like, I hit play and it was like, "Hello, Bob, let's go." So it's just bad, and
Is there a character named Bob?
No,
That's what I
no,
want.
no. Then I changed it, but like
A
the
Korean film, somebody named Bob.
his people that defend him also have like cool weapons. They have to defend against different like. There's like a jungle one. There's like a water one. There's just like different. There's an actual hell-looking hell, like a fire, lava hell, and if you, each one is like, did you hurt someone? Did you murder somebody? And if they find you guilty, you're stuck in that hell for however many years they say.
Gotcha.
So, it's super. It's just weird.
Sounds
super
very
good.
fascinating, actually. I kind of want to watch it.
Watch Ace Ventura when Nature Calls. Obviously, talk
Yeah,
about
you
that
did.
kind of. It was fine, you know. I don't think I went up or down on it.
It is
So
what it is, yeah.
I laughed a bunch because it's so stupid.
The
My
scene
wife,
of Jim Carrey exiting the rhino is
Yeah.
just peak cinema.
my wife hated it. I watched The Man from U.N.C.L.E. finally. I've had this movie forever.
Oh yeah, it's pretty
I've been
good.
going through Guy Ritchie's filmography just because I am, and I've got a couple more to watch. But it was okay.
He's hit or miss.
This one has like a chance, but they just don't. It just doesn't hit home.
It
And
could be great. It's just pretty good.
Army Hammer's Russian accent's kind of weird.
That's
Henry
kind of what I
Army
say.
Hammer's kind of weird. Turns
See,
out.
That's kind of what I say about most Guy Ritchie movies, though. That it had a really good chance, and it just
Yeah.
kind of fell short.
Henry Cavill's American accent's weird, just because like the way they make him talk is weird. It's not him. I think it's the way that Guy Ritchie wants him to like speak.
Yeah.
Alicia Vikander's okay, and it just has like the star power. This story's kind of weird. Of course, Hugh Grant's in it because he's in every Guy Ritchie movie. It feels like he's in there. I watched Battle Royale. Finally, kind of got around to that. A Japanese kill each other kids movie, or if you don't, you die. Like you blow up with your neck.
Of course, yeah.
I liked it. I don't like it as much as everyone else. I give it a 4-star, but like it's like high for people. It's fine. It's just a little bit weird. Like a little bit. I think it's a little bit. The pacing's a little strange, but I liked it. Then I watched A Ghost Story, which I found to be amazing. I found it to be very good, and I don't understand completely why people don't like it. I can understand certain things, but I think this movie has a lot to say without doing much. I think it's profoundly hard to do.
Yeah.
And I loved it. So
Yeah, we talked about it, and we talked about it off podcast. I saw it whenever it first came out, and I just remember like I don't know what I was expecting because I just knew the title A Ghost Story.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and I was like, that was kind of dull and pretentious. I don't know, like I see what they're going for, but I was like, nah. I just thought it was kind of boring. And again, maybe I was just not in the right mindset for it. I probably should rewatch it because, like I said, it's been 7 years since I've seen it.
Yeah, by the end, I found it to be so profound. I was like, I want to watch it again. So I went and bought it. I'm going to watch it when it comes back in. I mean, you can watch it on Max. I want to watch my own
Right.
copy. I'm weird about it.
I feel you.
Yeah, I watched it on Max last night.
So I give that a 5-star, by the way. And I liked it. I put it on my favorite films of all time list. So I went from a 5-star. You ready for this next one to the half-star?
Let's hear it.
I watched the new Jennifer Lopez, This Is Me Now.
Oh my gosh, that
Wow.
what even is that? Like a
So, okay, here,
Why
listen
would you
up.
put yourself through that?
Because I've heard it's just worth watching because how stupid it is, and it's true. It's an hour long, so it's not going to kill you. It's a narrative of how basically how she grew up and how she went through all of her loves, because she's known for being married like so many times and going through people, and now she's back with Ben Affleck, whatever. But it's a narrative of these over-the-top, horrible, like Phantom Menace green screen stuff. And it starts out with her inside her own heart, and like her heart is failing and it needs roses. And then it
Wow.
like goes to like she's on a bike and like they like, this is all in her dreams, whatever. They like when they crash, it's horrible looking. And then by the end, she's like, her heart is now good. This is me now. No one knows the real me. And it's just like, there's even like a Singing in the Rain thing goes on. I'm like, shut up.
Talk about pretentious.
It's no. I'll tell you right now. This is just garbage. The project, if you can call it that, is just pretentious and embarrassing. It is embarrassing. And there's even like TikToks of Ben Affleck being like, Don't do it. He's like he's trying to rewrite it. You know, he's a award-winning writer.
Right.
The dude can write. He can direct too. But he can write. And it's
I
like,
saw Argo. Yeah.
and she was. Well, I mean, Good Will Hunting. Like I mean, they know what they're. He knows. He's like, let's do this. She goes, you can't do that. And I guess as a TikTok, he's like, I just thought that you should keep some things private. Turns out she does not. It's horrible. There's even a line that says, "Why my poop green?" Why is
Wow.
there? It is horrendous.
So you highly recommend it.
There's
Just
a
saying.
whole scene about. I guess she was abused by one of her husbands. We don't know which one. You can't tell. It's like this weird spider thing where like it keeps her to him. Like she can't get away from him. She's like bound to him. It is horrible. So to watch it, I would say watch it.
Basically, you're watching her dreams.
It is so but like it's her idea of how she grew up.
Yeah.
Even though she's from Jenny on the Block, but everyone's like, you're not. Anyways, whatever.
Exactly.
She's like the most famous person I've ever seen think that they're just not. I don't know how to explain. Like, came from nothing, now she's whatever. I don't know. Watch it because it's so hard to
No,
watch.
I don't
It's
think
pretty
so.
fun to watch. I rolled my eyes in the first 10 seconds.
What about you, Matt?
And it's actually,
I'm okay.
didn't say this. It's one big music video. It's all of her. It's her new music from the
But
thing called "This Is Me Now."
I don't like her music.
So yeah, it wasn't good. Anyways, half star. It's right there with Madam Web this year, baby. And then I watched Jurassic Park. My son had never seen it. He fell asleep, so that hurts.
the first one.
Yeah,
That
he just-
stings.
I
I'm
think he's-
worried, like, when I show my kids The Lord of the Rings, they're going to fall asleep.
I don't think it was because of the movie. I think he's just tired. But yeah, it was just so great. So
I
great.
conked out. Well, I mentioned this earlier. So I conked out last night. I started watching another Scorsese movie. I only got 30 minutes and I conked out. I think that was just me. I was pretty gassed.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So great. I still get chills when the T-Rex just roar. Loved it. It's still one of my favorite movies. Then I watched The Fantastic Mr. Fox. I got this Wes Anderson kick. Really great. I own this
I
movie.
like that one, yeah.
I have the 2-pack of this and Isle of Dogs, but this is great.
I love dogs.
I like All Dogs quite a bit.
It's George Clooney. You know, it's like it's got all kinds of people in it, and it's just really, really good. I love the stop motion. It's impressive to do what they did, and it's a cool story. Short movie, an hour and a half, and the ending is so great. It's funny. I don't know. It's really good. I watched Snack Shack. Okay, so come with me. This is a movie from this year. Part of the biggest surprise of the year. I promise you. You need to watch it. It's kind of a,
Shack.
yeah. It's kind of a coming of age story.
I've seen it online. I haven't watched it.
It's a coming of age story, so you know I'm all in. But it's two boys that are 14 years old. They go and bid for a snack shack at a pool, and basically there's a new girl there. They have to, they both like her, blah blah. But it's like it encapsulates what two 14-year-old boys act like. I think it's really good. It's like a summer love type thing. I laughed through the whole thing. It feels kind of like a Superbad now, but not as raunchy really. But it kind of has that tone and vibe, and by the end they have to kind of grow up, and they there's a sad thing that happens. They realize that life is precious. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like starts out like a buddy comedy, kind of goes through the themes of, it's really, really good. I was very
Is it
surprised.
streaming somewhere?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I watched that. So but when it does come around where you can watch it, it's super, super good. My wife chose to watch Miss Congeniality.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't seen that. In a
Haven't
long
seen it in a
time.
while. It's still what I remember. 3.5 stars. It's fine. It's
Not
funny.
terrible.
They try to make Sandra Bullock ugly. Impossible.
Isn't there a Miscongeniality too?
Yeah, she's in it too.
There is.
It's got a 5.2 on IMDb. That one does.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a 6.3. It's okay. It's funny at times. Michael Caine's great. Honestly,
Michael Caine.
anytime William Shatner's in a movie, just randomly,
gonna say
I'm
that
gonna watch
William
it.
Shatner
I don't
show
know
up,
why,
yeah.
but Sandra Bullock is great. I don't know how you make her look back. You can't.
No.
They tried the whole. She doesn't look.
Idiots.
Yeah, she's gorgeous no matter what. Then I watched The Royal Tenenbaums, another Wes Anderson I haven't seen.
Right.
Super good. This is his most accessible film. This
The
movie,
most accessible film.
for sure. I thought it was going to be Grand Budapest. This one isn't crazy. Like, it's got weird characters. It's got weird set pieces somewhat because, Wes Anderson. But it's all about...
and it's very well praised also. It's a really good movie.
It's got all his normal people like Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson, Gene Hackman's in it,
Yeah.
Ben Stiller, Gwyneth Paltrow. It's always stacked. Just about a family. And Gene Hackman's a bad dad wanting to get back into his family's life and all the stuff that happens. And it's got really good themes throughout it. I think it's super good. Most accessible by far. I mean, it's an actual movie. Like, I don't want to be that way because I love Wes Anderson, but Wes Anderson movies, they feel like big plays.
Yeah.
They feel like
Yeah.
big, crazy masterpieces. Like, I think they're all good.
Like Asteroid City. Stuff like
Yeah, or like Grand Budapest Hotel might be one of his
Right.
best, but also one of the craziest. It's like weird, set pieces, but this one is just like kind of like a regular movie with weird characters, so it's accessible. I watched Out of Darkness. Kind of sucked. It's a new movie that came out in the UK in 2022, but it didn't come out to US till now. I actually saw a trailer for this in front of Godzilla Minus Color.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
It has chances, man. The first 2 acts it's obviously foreign. It's like whatever, but it's set in primitive times. They find these 5 people find a new island. They cross the ocean, and they are trying to settle down here. But there's a creature that is stalking them. And, first 2 acts, the score is great. The acting is pretty okay. And it's like suffocating because it's in darkness most of the time, obviously.
Yeah,
and they build fires, but all you can see is the fire. The camera is good. It's very low budget, which you can tell, which is fine. But once you kind of find out what the creature is and what they're going for, it really is a wet fart. I mean, like it had so much going for it, and then by the end, like the message is like whatever. The creature is just whatever, and then it makes 0 sense. This creature, I'll go like this in Creature, by the way. When I say it's a creature, it makes 0 sense how this creature is doing what it's doing to people, and I don't know. I wish I liked it. I didn't like it. Last one is. Because of the 25th anniversary of this movie, we watched The Mummy last night. It's the 25th anniversary this weekend.
Man,
it's being released to theaters this weekend.
I hadn't seen that in years, man.
It is the same. It is a solid, fun Brendan Fraser movie. Visuals hold up half the time. I know it was made 99, so it's got some rough stuff, but it is just kind of cheesy, wacky, fun by the end, creepy stuff. It's like the bugs go in the skin. But it's just okay. I don't know why people think it's so good, but it's a fun time. I watch every once in a while. Brendan Fraser's eating the screen. It's one of his. When you think of Brendan Fraser, maybe you think of The Whale now, but before that was The Mummy. I think that's second.
It was.
It was The Mummy. Maybe if you're older and Encino Man and like Airhead, maybe.
I love those movies, man.
Mine personally is George of the Jungle is best. Not really, but
School Ties. Remember that movie?
No one does.
Yeah,
no, I don't know what that is.
with Matt Damon.
I don't know that one actually. But
and Ben Affleck's in that too, right?
Probably if they're in
I
it.
don't remember.
But I would say that
Remember Matt Damon.
I would say that when you think of him, you think of The Mummy mostly. Maybe The Whale now, but maybe Blast from the Past. I don't know. A horrible Looney Tunes movie, but that's what I watched this week. But Mummy's super good still. I mean, it's fine. Whatever. But we'll go ahead and transition into our 2023 review. We got through a good amount last time, so we will go through this.
That's excited.
If you don't know what this is, we've got movies, not in order by any means, and there's like 100 or so, and we just we'll touch on them real quick what we think about them. Most of the time, we've gotten a legit review. You can go back in our logs. We have them on Apple, won't have them on YouTube. But yeah, and then all things. Hopefully, there'll be a poster right there. Of each movie we talk about. So that way, if you're like, what movie is that? Well, for the people that are watching, it's that movie right there. So we'll start out with...
What are we starting with?
A Nick Cage movie, which is always a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Dream Scenario.
Oh, okay.
All of us watch this, I believe.
Yep.
Did you watch this? Yeah, okay.
I liked it. It doesn't make any sense by the end to me, but I liked it. I think Nick Cage is good in it. Finally, I've seen it. I haven't liked him in a lot of his newer movies. I think he's solid. The movie's a stretch, to say the least. But once you kind of understand what they're going for, it's fine. I mean, I wouldn't call it great. I wouldn't call it bad. So that's pretty good for Nick Cage movie.
I would call
I
would call this movie borderline great. Actually, I really enjoyed it.
I might be the only one.
I think it got fairly good reviews.
Yeah.
I think the concept is remarkably intriguing, having Nick Cage show up in everybody's dreams, and I think it actually does a decent job saying stuff about what fame can do to you and about cancel culture and social media and things like that. It actually does a good job saying a lot of things. And I think really the only complaint I would have with the film is like it does just kind of end abruptly. I think ending. I think you could do another scene or two with the end of the film, but I think it's low-key brilliant. Like I really enjoyed Dream Scenario.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of the spectrum on this one. I thought that the concept was fantastic. I just don't know that it delivered like I was hoping. I think Nick Cage, what do we always say about Nick Cage? Doesn't matter what movie he's in, he brings it 100%.
Yeah.
He always does his best. And you can't ever take that away from the guy. This movie for me, it just didn't hit. It just was not for me. I know a lot of people liked it.
It was for me instead.
Yeah, exactly. I know a lot of people liked it. That's cool. But it just felt like it for me, it just didn't do anything. I mean, I get the concept. I get what they were going for. It just I did not get there. And by the end, I just didn't care.
Okay.
There we go.
The end is weird, yeah. Next, we have 65, the Adam Driver dinosaur movie. I actually like this one now. It's not a good movie. I think it's better than people say. It needs to be longer in the beginning because like it doesn't. They just kind of get to this planet with, Earth, but it was like 65 million years, before or whatever. And which I thought was an interesting idea. I thought it was going to start on Earth, but it doesn't start on Earth. It starts in space, and they actually crash land on Earth. I think it's an interesting idea. It feels like it was cut up by the studio a lot.
Yeah,
in this
it
one.
does.
This one has like a cool idea, I think, and I think the dinosaurs are actually well done. They're different looking. They're more like feathery. People say like they're more feathery. I don't know.
That's cool. Yeah. Apparently, that's how dinosaurs really look.
Apparently,
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Yeah, Adam Driver's great in it. I think he's good in everything. I don't think the movie itself. It's just like it doesn't hit home for everybody. I liked it. I would probably buy it for $5. Watch it again. Nothing crazy, but it was fine. Yeah, it was weird that people. I thought it would really suck. It didn't really suck. It was just not like that.
I never watched it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was just okay.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, and I was like, I'd rather do something else with an hour and a half. I don't know. Maybe one of these days. But
It's another one of those movies that the concept is there. I mean you're expecting something better, I think, and Adam Driver's great. The girl, I don't remember her name.
when is he not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
she's
she
nobody
does.
right now.
I think she does pretty good, but the whole movie just kind of falls flat. They could have done so much more with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the lead up to it was not great. They skipped a lot of stuff. It did feel choppy a lot of times.
Yeah, it does. Ending's kind of weird now.
Yeah, it's an okay movie. I'm not even sure I'd watch it again, but it was
I would.
it was just okay.
I forgot to mention this. Basically, they crash land there, and unfortunately for Adam Driver, the meteor, like the comet meteor thing, is coming as he's there.
Right.
It's like it's coming to obliterate the dinosaurs, and he's trying to get off planet. So it has interesting moments, but it just doesn't comply.
And they
completely
come from a high tech society
Yeah.
that crash landed on Earth just 65 million years ago.
Yeah, it's a weird. I didn't know that when I was going into it. So, anyways, next we have A Good Person, directed by Zach Braff, which is kind of strange to say. This
He
one
hadn't done anything since like Garden State.
Garden State, yeah, really. This one, Florence Pugh, Morgan Freeman. I loved it. It was delightful. It has some moment. Well, delightful is not. At the end, I think it's
heavy,
delightful.
dog.
It's just delightful.
By the end, I think it's pretty delightful. Florence Pugh has some of the best acting she's ever done. In this, she has a tough time, man. She just has bad things happen to her, and then she kind of regresses into a addiction, and then you go through with Morgan Freeman's addiction and her trying to fit in with his family, and it's just, man, it is a heavy film, but I found it to be very, very good, and I like the way that Zach Braff was able to direct this into being the themes he does are pretty good in this. He doesn't like point fingers by any ways. He just kind of says bad things happen to people, and it depends on how you want to deal with them could ruin your life.
Yeah.
So.
I like this film. I don't think I liked it quite as much as you did, but I like this. A Good Person just kind of came and went. Nobody really talked about it or anything. Florence Pugh is so good. She's so good in everything she does. I watched a 10-minute video of her cooking yesterday. That's it. She's just so charismatic and
So
lovely.
weird.
She's good in everything. Of course, Morgan Freeman's good.
Yeah.
Like what? Shouldn't even have to waste my breath saying that, but I just did. Anyway, the movie itself, it had some heavy themes. It was very emotional, very heavy, borderline depressing to get through in times, but I understand that's the point of the film. I just feel like it spent a lot of time spinning its gears, almost like wallowing in its own self-misery. But I think by the end of it, though, it was a good story, and I'm glad I watched it. It just didn't hit me quite as well as I was hoping it would.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. By far, Florence Pugh, man, she was the standout.
God bless her.
And you think about her filmography, man. You look at it, and she does some great work, and it doesn't matter the movie. She almost came out of nowhere, and just now she's like in everything, and she's such a great actress, and she does such a great job. And in this movie, it was dark, it was depressing, and she hit every note on that, and it was just so good. I really, really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the redemptive quality toward the end, and I don't know. It was good. I really enjoyed it. Let's put it that way.
Next, we have Creed 3. Yeah, it was okay. I didn't really like it that much. I think I think Jonathan Major just kind of wasted in the movie. Of course, we now know he's not the best person, but he's a good actor. And they just kind of wasted him. Michael B. Jordan's fine. The end fight scene is just kind of dumb.
It's weird. Yeah.
It's like they had a chance and they kind of make it weird. You know what I mean? Like, we're building up to this, and you give us that. I don't know.
Mhm.
He direct this one?
Michael B. Jordan did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell. Up to that point, I didn't think the direction was bad. I just think that he made a bad decision there.
Yeah, he made some interesting choices.
It's
sure.
a cookie cutter, like revenge. I'm gonna be the best boxer, or I'm the best boxer type thing, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm not mad I watched it. I'll probably never watch it again. The first one's superior to all these ones. I mean, Creed 1's better than Creed 2, and Creed 2's better than Creed 3. So, I don't know. It was fine.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's great. I think it's pretty good. It's kind of exactly what you think a Creed 3 film would be. You know, we're starting to get diminishing returns on these movies, like you were saying, but it's not. Again, good performances. You know, decent script, decent story, but it was pretty good, not great. That's about where it is.
Yeah, I thought this was just okay. The thing is, you know, these themes, we've seen them so many different times that if you're not gonna really try to elevate it even more, it just doesn't. It kind of falls flat for me. And building up to that final fight, the stuff he did in that final fight, good for him for taking a chance in some of that, but it just did not land. And the whole they're in the middle of a fight and all of a sudden he's in a cage. I'm like, don't just stop. It took you out of the movie almost at that point, and I did not enjoy that part. So.
Yeah, next we have White Men Can't Jump, the remake.
I have not seen this, so
It's bad. It is bad.
I wouldn't recommend it.
I would not recommend it. I watched it, and Jack Harlow can't act. He does better than I thought he would, maybe.
He's not bad. He just has no heart whatsoever.
No,
I think it's the movie has no heart. Sorry.
I haven't seen the first one in a long time, but I don't remember how alike they are. I remember liking the first one.
Like I said, I haven't seen this one. I know the first one, they had a really good chemistry.
They have a decent chemistry together, I think. I think they're okay.
Yeah.
It's just like whatever. He's a washed-up dude. He wants to play basketball, can't. He keeps getting hurt. The other guy needs money, so they hustle.
Yeah, I mean,
it's whatever.
It's kind of what you think a White Men Can't Jump direct-to-Hulu remake would be, honestly. I mean, it's below average. I chuckled a couple of times. I like sports, so I was mildly entertained by the basketball sequences. Beyond that, the movie just didn't have a lot of energy, didn't have a lot of heart, so, man, it's not really worth watching.
You didn't watch it, you said?
No, I did not.
Next, we have Inside, the Willem Dafoe movie where he's just inside and he's stuck. I like this better than I think the masses did. As far as what I rated it, I mean, Willem's great in this. You know, he's going mad. He's doing all this other stuff. There's good symbolism, and by the end, it's ambiguous what you think happened to him, kinda.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna put someone in a room, make him act in front of me, Willem Dafoe's one of the better ones. He's good in this, and it's just an art thief that gets stuck, and they don't really explain why he gets stuck. They don't explain what happened, really. There's a guy on the phone, and he's like, "I'm sorry," he's just stuck in there.
I'm out.
I can see people don't like it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, I don't think. This is another film that really came and went last year.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. It's very interesting. I was expecting almost like a thriller, I guess. I don't know, but this film is much more philosophical, I guess you could say. There's a lot of undertones about art and life and things like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's humanly possible for Willem Dafoe to play a joyful character.
Nope.
I don't think that's possible. But by the end of this, I was glad I watched it. It made me think for a minute. I enjoyed Willem's performance as always. He's definitely the glue that holds this film together. It could have been a pretentious snorefest, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think overall the movie wasn't great. I think Willem Dafoe's acting kind of elevated a little bit. He's fantastic in most of the stuff he does. He's another one of those, if you saw him like Nick Cage, just take every role he could get, he'd be one of those guys that brought it 100% every time.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of what you get in this. I mean, I think that the movie just kind of fell short of what it was. And by the end, I mean, you see him go through all these different emotions, and and he plays it so well. But I just think the movie falls short. I don't think it's him. I just think the movie falls short.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much going on. You know, it's like, which is kind of the point, I guess. Next, we have John Wick Chapter 4. Certified banger right here, man. This one's good, dude. Like, I think he could say it's the best one, or he could say it's the second best. I think it's better than 2 and 3 for sure. It's I need to watch them again. It's been a minute, but this one, some of the one shots over everything, the camera angles, the overall just massacre of everything, and then I like the ending. I like the gentleman stuff, but not gentleman. Bill Skarsgård's kind of, I don't want to say miscast, but it's kind of strange. Not that he's bad. He's just, the bad guy, I guess. And I just like the idea. I feel like all John Wick movies are kind of the same. There's always like, go after John Wick and kill him, but you can't. So, but this one's interesting the way they do it. The stair scene is just like aggravating in a good way. You're like, he got to the top. No, he got pushed. He gets kicked back down.
It's very frustrating.
But overall, man, I think it's good. I mean, it's one of those like one of the better action movies we've had in a while. I mean, other than the other John Wick movies, I guess.
That's true.
And so I had a good time with it. I was like, wow, this is profound. It's kind of really good, well shot. Which is action movies. Sometimes you just get this stupid angle if it's the camera sitting right here, nothing. But this one's over the top. Watching him go through the building was cool, and him having like the dragon's breath shotgun was cool.
Right.
I don't know. It's just they make it.
There's a lot of really inventive, cool things in this. Yeah, for sure.
I like it.
But I tell you what, nobody can deliver these cheesy one-liner action lines like Keanu can.
Amen.
He is awesome. That being said, this is like an action masterclass, though. It really is. I mean, they do so many different things throughout this film. It is just a nonstop thrill ride. It may be a little bloated because it's very long, but
I don't think so, personally.
All that being said, it's like, but that being said, it's like, I'm sure they could have cut it, but at the same time, I don't know where, there's not like any glaring holes in it that I'm thinking, oh, you could shave all this off. It's just a nonstop action extravaganza. It's a great time.
Yeah, and I'm like both of you, I love the John Wick franchise. You said, some people saying this is the best one. I disagree. The first one is the best one for me. This is probably the second best. And what another thing I appreciate about these movies is the way they have to prepare for these things. That there's so much choreography that goes on. There's so much. It's so physical. Yeah. In just making these, and some of the extra characters they brought in this one, I thought was fantastic. Overall, the movie I loved. Is he dead? Isn't he dead? Who knows? Who knows what's going on?
Probably not.
But either way, hey. If they do decide to do another one, I'm on board. I love this franchise.
Until you show me him dead, I don't believe it.
Right.
Because they're making that ballerina. He's showing up in it, but it might be a prequel to him.
True. I think it is.
I don't know when that's set. But, I mean, this one made some cheddar. And then John Wick 5 would make cheddar, too. So
I don't know. I just love the franchise.
Yeah, it could have stopped after 3. It could stop now. It could have stopped after 1. It's like,
true.
It's not one of those movies that have to keep going. They just make money and they're fun. Next is Murder Mystery 2, that Netflix movie with Adam Sandler and... What? Oh,
I said,
and Jennifer Aniston.
I haven't got around to see this one.
Did you watch it?
No.
Okay.
Neither have I.
I wouldn't have watched these except my wife liked the first one. The first one's fine. This one's okay. I don't know. It's just like making fun of murder mystery movies. It's like this one. It's it's Knives Out's come out. Obviously, it's kind of like making fun of that kind of stuff. It's okay mystery. It's not good. I don't know. It's like it's bad. I mean, I don't know how to explain it without giving the whole thing away.
I like that glowing review. It's not good.
It's not great. It's on Netflix. If you want a murder mystery that's funny, and it's an okay mystery, I'd say go watch it. It's not like if you're not going to lose brain cells.
If you want one that's good, go watch Knives Out.
Well, yeah, that's the best one to come out in a long time, maybe ever. I don't know. It's like it sets the bar pretty high. So this one does not. It's probably worse than the first one, and the first one's okay. So I don't know how. It's on Netflix. Go watch it if you just want something fun. Adam Sandler is going to make it a fun time.
Sure. Yeah.
Next we have Scream 6. This one might be the best of the new ones. I don't know. I didn't like the one before it as much. This one's interesting. The kills are brutal. And the twist is okay. I kind of saw it coming, but that's okay. I mean, it's hard to reinvent the wheel in these type of movies. I mean, obviously it's somebody that hates somebody, and it's going to be somebody and there's going to be 1, there's going to be 3, there's going to be 4 ghost faces. Are there no ghost faces? Who knows? I'm more interested to see what they do next because they've canned they've all left.
Right.
Jenna Ortega left because of Wednesday. whatever. But they have now they've got Nev Campbell and it looks like Courtney Cox is back. So I'm gonna watch it. Scream 7 should be fun. This one was good, I thought. I mean, for the 6th movie in a Scream franchise, man, I think it was good. You brought back Hayden Panettiere. That was probably a good move because people liked her from Scream 4. So whatever. I like the Scream franchise. I think it's one of the better horror franchises as far as movies go.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, honestly, as far as like horror franchises go, this is the best one on the whole. Like, I mean,
Probably.
There's not really a bad entry in it.
Scream 3 kind of sucks, but
yeah, I didn't like this as much as I was hoping to. I like it okay. I think some of the kills are brutal and fun, and I liked the opening sequence quite a bit. I liked most of the story. The third act falls all the way apart for me.
Yeah,
it just
does.
gets so ridiculous and so stupid. And by the end of the film, there's not really a whole lot of tension because every character feels indestructible. Every character
Yeah.
lives through some serious BS, and it's just... I'm like, how are you still living? How are you breathing right now? I just don't understand it. It really fell apart for me at the end. It just got really clumsy, really stupid. But I'm not mad I watched it. Like I said, I really enjoyed the first 2 acts. The third act just really lost it for me.
I'm of the school of thought. Where I love the original, of course. I thought it did just amazing things for the genre itself. I'm not real big on these new ones. They just, I don't know. They just kind of fall short all the way around. By the end of it, I don't really care as far as who's doing it or why, because we've seen it already. It's just kind of rehashing the same old stuff, and bringing in the legacy characters for the new one. I don't care. I think it was good they got rid of them, and I'm ready to get rid of all of. I'm not enjoying this franchise like I thought I should. It goes back almost like the Halloween franchise when they started redoing those.
don't do that. No,
I know,
it's not
I know.
the same.
I'm just saying it's not the same movie. Okay,
my gosh.
and the last Halloween movie was horrible compared to these. I'm not doing that type of comparison. Okay, these aren't that bad, but I just don't care anymore about this franchise. I mean, I'll watch the first. If I'm gonna watch a Scream, I'm gonna watch the first one every
Right.
time.
I'm excited to see what they do next with it, just to see what they do. See if they actually take it back to Woodsboro. They can stay in New York.
Yeah, I'm glad they got the F out of Woodsboro for this
Yeah.
one, though.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to see it's different stuff. Next, we have Air. I feel like this one kind of came and went, too. This one's a really good movie. This is about, Nike, basically, and signing Jordan and Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. It's got a great cast. Jason Bateman. This one I feel like was talked about for like a week. You know what I mean? Like,
It felt like it.
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best movies of the year. Actually, it's well acted, it's well directed, it's it's a good story, it's a true story, and so those are fun. You never see Michael Jordan. That's on purpose. They have like his voice. But
Oh, yeah, you don't need to.
you don't need to. Viola Davis plays a pretty good Michael Jordan's mom, whatever her name is. But it went to streaming, didn't it?
No,
Yeah.
it was released in theaters.
Was it really?
I mean,
I saw it in theaters.
I
thought it was
saw
straight.
it streaming. So
Yeah, it was made by Amazon, or Amazon funded it, but it was in theaters I saw it in theaters. And then I think it came to Amazon like 30 or 40 days after its
gotcha.
theatrical
That's how I
release.
watched it.
Let's say it wasn't in theaters long.
Yeah. But I really liked it. Kind of came and went, but I don't understand why. I thought it could have been nominated for a couple things, actually. But
It could have, yeah, especially if they would have released it like later in the year.
Yeah.
But they released it in April, so people kind of forgot about it by the time Oscar season rolled around. But yeah, I enjoyed Air quite a bit. I think Ben Affleck is great behind and in front of the camera. He just puts out hit after hit, baby. Matt Damon's great. Jason Bateman's great. Viola Davis is great. Got a great cast, a great story. They do a wonderful job. Even if you're not into sports, it's an entertaining film. They do a wonderful job making, basically, it's a series of conversations for 112 minutes, but they make that very interesting. And I had a good time with it.
Yeah, when I first saw this advertised, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, if it comes out free on Amazon, yeah, I'll watch it. And I did, and I was pleasantly surprised, man. I really enjoyed this movie. It's interesting to see the story behind what really made a company, and then created another complete different franchise with these shoes. The story was great. The acting was great. I mean, anytime I see Jason Bateman, I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah.
he just does a fantastic job. Anything he's in, it's what can I say? It's just a really good movie. And if you haven't seen it, man, you really should.
Yeah, I think it's still streaming, I'm sure. It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
Next, we have Ari Aster's new movie, Beau is Afraid. which I didn't really like. I'm gonna be honest. Like it's, it's hard to get. It was hard to get on board. I was on board for like one act. The first act, I liked. The first act's crazy. The second act, I was like, when he goes in like the paintings or whatever, kind of liked that, or the book, whatever he goes into. And then that last act completely falls off for me. I know it's crazy. You see a monster I never thought I'd ever see in my life. And by the end, it's like, I get what they're going for. I understand the metaphor. But this is the time where maybe you don't let Ari Aster do everything he wants to do. It's like his mind is out there. Because, we got Hereditary. Great. We got Midsummer. It's great. We get this, and I'm like, not great. So I do own it. It's also 3 hours long, which doesn't help.
Yeah.
It's a long ride for a weird movie. That doesn't make a lot of sense because you have to kind of figure out what's real, what's not for yourself. And by the end, I don't even know what's going on, really. And like I said, I get what they're going for, but I have no clue why and how he gets to where he is. So it's kind of unrewarding by the end for me. So
I tell you what, this is like just Ari Aster just doing whatever he wants to do. I mean, just throwing all kinds of stuff to the wall and seeing what sticks. And I think, this was the biggest budget that anyone had given for an A24 film. And he made the most of it. I'll give him credit for that. He made a lot of stuff happen. There's a small part of me that hates how long and dumb and just so abstract and ridiculous this movie is, but there's another part of me that's like, this is kind of epic. This is kind of incredible. I don't know. I have very, very mixed feelings about it. I think Joaquin Phoenix is great. I think the performances are great. And it kind of made more sense to me after I watched the film. I watched Ari Aster talk about basically his inspiration for making this film, and he said, I wanted to make a movie where it's basically like a first-person video game that doesn't really do anything, and the main character has severe anxiety. He's like, what would that be like? What would it be like if the main character was just in a game, just had severe anxiety and just trying to get to his mom's house? Basically, that's the movie. And but it's just, I have to admire just how bizarre and how off the wall it is. Even if you hate it, if somebody straight up hates it, I totally understand that. If somebody loves it, I totally understand that. If nothing else, I just admire the ambition.
This is one I have not gotten around to see yet.
Oh, I thought you watched it.
No.
Okay.
When I heard
Buckle up.
When I
decide to watch
when
it.
I first heard this announced, I was excited because I love his other movies, but I just haven't gotten around to set out 3 hours to sit through this thing.
Yeah.
From
Don't watch it with your
what
wife
I've heard
or
it,
anything. I just feel like she would hate it.
She would not get into it. No doubt.
Next, we have Elemental, the Pixar movie. It is woefully okay. It's
pretty good.
It's cookie cutter Pixar. It has some
It's pretty good.
things to say about like interracial relationships because one's fire, one's water. They shouldn't mix.
Yeah.
And
But they do.
They do in this one. They actually heal each other. So literally, and it's funny. The water, whoever plays the water guy, I can't remember. He's funny. It didn't reinvent anything, but it wasn't bad. I didn't think I'd like it, but I liked it enough.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. It's Pixar doesn't really miss. I wouldn't call this a miss. It's just not as good as
Pixar misses.
It's not as good as their other one.
Pixar's missed.
Most of the time they hit. I would say this is not as good as their other ones, but it has some emotional moments. It has some interesting characters. Could have been a lot worse. So
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Really?
I was just gonna say that it's okay.
Tickle me surprised.
I didn't think you watched it.
To me, it's just okay. I mean, it wasn't anything overwhelming. Of course, I'm like you all know, I am not a big animation
hate kids
guy.
Yeah.
I love kids. I have two of my own, but they're older now. So, but it was just okay. It's not something I go back to. I watch it. I watch it just to watch it.
My wife cried. At the end, the flame bows to her father or whatever.
Right there.
Right there.
Next, we have Evil Dead Rise on the same thing as
They're the same film, really. Yeah.
Exactly.
This one we went and watched in theaters.
Yes, we did.
I was underwhelmed by it. I liked it. I thought it was creepy. I thought they did interesting things with it. Not the main, but the mom was very good in it.
Yeah, she
very
was.
creepy. I just think it missed a couple things here and there. I think it was just overhyped a little bit. By the end, it was kind of crazy. Of course, Evil Dead movies are kind of crazy. I mean, whatever. I think my favorite's still the remake, which I can't believe I said that because I don't really like remakes, but I think it's probably my favorite. Just like this movie is like if just the kid doesn't like say the mantra, this movie doesn't happen. It's like
Pretty much
what
how
an
all the Evil
idiot.
Dead movies
Yes.
are really.
What
It's like,
an
don't
idiot.
open the Book of the Dead.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
But I do think I want to rewatch it. This is one of those movies I think that maybe it just didn't hit me right. I'll probably watch in October, knowing me.
Yeah.
Just 'cause I feel like I want to watch it again. Watch it in theaters. I didn't
Make
hate
it a double feature.
Yeah, I didn't hate it by any means. I just thought maybe I wanted more from it. I don't know. I think the beginning is really good. The way it starts is interesting. But I didn't love it. So I'll watch it again though.
I enjoyed it quite a bit, actually. I found a lot to like about this. For an Evil Dead sequel, you could certainly do a heck of a lot worse.
For sure.
I thought there's some very suspenseful, very creepy moments in it. The main performance is excellent. There's a lot of good gore. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of what I would want. I mean, not. It's not perfect by any stretch, but it's like as far as like Evil Dead sequels go, I think I had a good time with it. I had a good time with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to like the originals. I enjoy watching the originals because they're so campy and funny. And they do have their creepy elements.
This one's hilarious.
Yeah. And they do have the creepy elements, but I just wanted to say that to say I really enjoy the remakes. This is one of the few remakes that I think they did fantastic with.
Mm-hmm.
The actual remake of this is probably one of my favorite horror movies. It just I go back to it. We watch at
It is
least
a lot of fun.
we watch it at least once a year.
Fun's a weird word.
I mean, if you're into nasty
Well, I
horror
mean,
films,
yeah,
it's a lot of
right.
fun.
It
one of
is.
the grossest movies I've seen.
It is, but we go back to it at least once a year.
I rewatched it before this new one came out last year.
It's good.
And so going into this new one, I actually enjoyed it. I don't think it was as good as the remake, but they did enough with it that I enjoyed it. I watched it, I kind of had higher expectations because of the remake, and I don't think they quite lived up to it. I do kind of. Everyone to this point has taken place in a cabin basically, and this one they bring to the city in an apartment building, and I kind of get it. I kind of but at the same time it didn't quite work because you didn't feel the isolation you feel for the other ones. But I still think that the movie was good enough. It was the story was compelling enough that I'd watch it again. I enjoyed it. Not my favorite one, but not the worst.
I actually liked it better in this whole hotel thing.
Did you?
It's not a hotel, but
It's just an apartment
It's an
complex,
apartment
yeah.
building.
I do think they could have done more though with it. I thought they did good with it, but I thought that was actually the most interesting part about the movie. That's why I was like, wow, we're gonna move it from somewhere to somewhere. It's ambitious.
But I mean, they brought
not hit,
they brought in all these other characters. They just kind of they killed real quick.
They're there
and
to
just-
die.
yeah.
That's what they are for.
Exactly.
Good. They got the kid deserved it or whatever. He started it. He started. You should get the axe or
Don't
the
start nothing. There won't be nothing.
Or you should get the chainsaw by the end, which I didn't like the whole here's my chainsaw. I'm Ash. And it's fine. Next we have Ghosted. Yeah, anybody else watch this? The Apple
That's,
TV. With,
Chris Evans on to Armas.
yeah, a bunch of hot people on.
Both of those people are gorgeous. I
I-
did not watch this film.
We did watch this about 3 weeks ago.
Hey, guess what? It's not good.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as bad as
Good
people
review.
said. But it's like it's kind of hard to imagine that Ana de Armas is the spy and Chris Evans is the boyfriend that can't fight.
Right.
It's weird because it's like you would
Yeah,
all you
I
ever
like
see.
to play on that, but
Yeah.
it's like, yeah.
And they have good chemistry. I mean,
They
they're both hot.
I was gonna say they
Very
do.
They're both
people.
hot.
So,
They do. They have a number of cameos that are just
they're funny.
kind of.
Yeah, it's like Anthony Mackie shows up, Ron Reynolds shows up. It's like Sebastian Stan
So,
shows
yeah,
up.
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah,
And
just to die.
They're only there, really quick. I mean, but you go into this type. It falls flat. I'll put it that way. It just falls flat.
Pretty good.
And by the mid of the movie, Chris Evans fights like he's been a spy forever.
Yeah, they
I
do
mean,
that
he
to
just,
him, yeah.
he's never been in a fight before, and then all of a sudden he fights like he's a superhero. It's hard to get behind that type of stuff. The cameos I thought were great, but overall the movie's just okay.
They're charismatic together. They're both charismatic actors and actresses, so it's like they work, but the movie doesn't really, So next we have The Holdovers. This one was a surprise. I didn't really know much about it before I watched it, and it became one of my favorites.
Mhm.
Paul Giamatti was great. It's very campy, isolated movie with he can't go home, so he has to stay there with his teacher, who he dislikes a lot, and the teacher doesn't like him very much. And then you have another character who's lost a son, and it's very kind of hits home. Like not hits home, but like it hits hard.
It's very emotional.
More than you would think. It's funny. I didn't expect much out of it, and I was like, wow, this is really good. So. Okay.
Yeah, I think this movie was wonderful. Like by the end, I was holding back tears. I think Paul Giamatti's great. The story's wonderful, well acted, well done. Yeah, it's just I think I've already heard a lot of people say it's become like an instant holiday classic, and I can definitely see that.
Yeah, I can see it.
It's emotional. It's a very well done film.
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. I think Paul Giamatti deserved the nomination he got. And the woman, I can't remember her name, she won the Oscar for it. I think she was
Joy Randolph.
I think she was well deserved. I thought she had this character. It was so emotional. It was great. By the end of the movie, I was hooked. I love this movie. I'll watch it again.
Next, we have Guy Ritchie's newest film, The Covenant. Which didn't we watch this with Evil Dead Rise?
Yes, we watched this and Evil Dead Rise on the same day.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really enjoyed it. Jake Gyllenhaal is always going to get me wanting to watch a movie.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really good. I think the way that Guy Ritchie actually shoots this is good. Sometimes you can say otherwise, but it's kind of like kind of feel like you're there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because
saying?
there's a lot of like handheld,
Yeah.
boots on the ground kind
Yeah.
of filmmaking and stuff.
It's a good story. It's not a true story, but it's based on true events. Basically, this stuff actually happened where he has a interpreter that is working for him, and or helps him interpret. And then once we pulled out of Afghanistan, whatever, they all got killed basically because they helped us.
Right.
But it's a good story. I think it has good moments. Jake Gyllenhaal's really good in it, of course, and I bought it when it came out. I thought it was one of Guy Ritchie's better ones.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. Good performances. It's a good, solid war action thrill ride, I guess, because it's pretty thrilling. It's pretty well done. When Guy Ritchie just keeps it simple, straightforward, to the point, knows what he's doing, I think I think he can hit it out of the park. It's exactly what you would expect from a film like this, no more, no less.
No Hugh Grant in this one, so that's something.
Yeah, I mean,
That would have felt out of place.
this was Oompa Loompa. Yeah, this was a good movie. I really wasn't sure what to expect going into it. It is Guy Ritchie. He is hit or miss for me sometimes. But I mean, overall, I thought it was a well put together movie. The story was compelling, especially you said it's not a true story, but it is true in the fact that after we did pull out of Afghanistan and stuff like that, they did go after interpreters. They went after everybody that helped the U.S. while they were over there. I mean, and so this is, even though it's not a true story, it is very much real in the respect of what really happened over there. And I just I thought it was compelling enough that I would actually watch it again. I haven't watched it again, but I would definitely watch it.
Yeah, they even put up text about all the stuff that actually happened. It's just kind of like a story to just kind of get you there. Next is Renfield. I'm saying that right?
Yeah, Renfield.
I hated this. This movie's just bad. I don't think it's good at any point.
But did Nick Cage bring it?
No.
Okay.
Yes, he did.
He did. He brought it maybe too much. I didn't like him as Dracula.
Probably too much.
I didn't like Nicholas Hoult in this, and I like him. I didn't like Awkwafina ever. Which point was I never like her. Really, no offense to her. I'm sure she's watching. So, but it's just I wanted to I wanted to enjoy it, but it's over the top. Even the blood looks bad. They're tearing people apart.
Yeah, I think that's the point, though.
I know it's the point. It's a bad point. I did not like this movie. I was rolling my eyes. I don't think I ever laughed other than just to laugh at the movie for being so bad, man. I have strong feelings about this movie. I did not like it.
I didn't mind it. I didn't love it. I didn't mind it. I like the effort Nick Cage puts in. I think we could have used more of him.
Rolling
honestly.
the eyes.
I liked Nick Hoult, and I like the fact I don't really Awkwafina grinds my gears in every movie. In this, she's used more than just the dumb comedic relief side character, which I appreciated. She actually has she's a normal character, I guess. She's still kind of that, but I like the over the top gore and everything. You can have fun with it, I guess. There's a lot of people who really love it. I just thought it was fine. Thought it was fine. I thought it could have been really, really fun. Instead, it was just okay.
Haven't got around to it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Well, don't. Next, we have Suzume, which I don't think anybody else watched this, right?
No, I haven't.
No.
This is an anime movie. It was actually really good. It's basically just about these doors that open up around Japan, and you have to have someone, the door master, basically to close them, or this entity comes through and can destroy Japan. And anytime you see like a big crisis, earthquake, tornado, whatever, it's actually is this entity. And she ends up, the main chick, Suzume, ends up basically getting herself mingled in and out of this epic story. It's well shot. The animation is really good. It's a really great story. I would definitely recommend watching, especially if you like anime. It has really good reviews, and I think that they deserve those reviews. So I don't know. It's one of those. It's not it's marketed, but there's not a whole lot of people that watch anime.
Yeah.
I did watch the trailer. It looks interesting. So
It is.
Let me check it out.
It does have the anime stuff though. It's like kind of crazy, over the top stuff. I mean, but it just depends on how you view those type of things. So next we have the Pope's Exorcist. Russell Crowe being,
The
Pope's Exorcist.
Pope's Exorcist. Yes.
I actually like this. I thought it'd be horrible. I think it actually hits some beats, man. It's like fine. I mean, it's a horror movie, with the devil, kind of, and he's the exorcist. And there's a couple he's actually pretty good in it. His accent's not bad. I kind of expect it to be horrible. I don't know why.
Russell
But
Crowe always brings it.
they set this up for multiple movies they want to. It has the visuals are actually pretty good. I thought they would be bad. There's like a lot of fire in this movie. It doesn't look that bad. The story is normal, Exorcist type of story, but we've seen worse.
Yes.
We have seen way worse. Like we'll talk about it later. There's one that comes up. That's fun. I liked it actually.
I didn't get around to seeing it. I wanted to.
I would
but
recommend
didn't
it
get around
around
to seeing
Halloween time, October-ish. I'd recommend it.
I
Yeah,
might.
I agree with you on this. Russell Crowe, he brought it, man. He
didn't sing.
It wasn't, and it was not a bad movie. You really don't see anything new in this genre. Basically, you have, it's a priest that comes in and fights a demon. That's basically it.
Yeah.
But the movie wasn't bad. The acting was good. The story was decent. But it was just kind of, it was, I won't say completely okay. I'll put it just a notch above okay.
Yeah, it was. It's if you go
Just
into
because we've seen this so many times.
if you go into this movie thinking it's gonna be great, you're just stupid.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's a fun time actually. Russell Crowe's funny in this.
Yeah.
Like he's not like
As a priest.
you
yeah.
wouldn't think he's not one of those like I don't know how to say. Like, he's a funnier person. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not like so like
He's got
Bible
good comedic
Bible.
timing.
You know,
He's got
and
the
and
comedy.
sometimes, when you see these priest movies, they're just so serious, and it's just, kill the demon, blah, blah, blah. But he's kind of an older priest, and just, he's seen it all, and he takes everything in stride.
Next, we have the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I thought was underwhelming. It made a ton of money.
It's exactly what you think it's going to be, really.
Yeah, it's got a good voice cast. It does. It just I don't know how you. And they're gonna make a whole thing about this. They're gonna make Super Mario Brothers. They're gonna make the all of the different people
Because it made a lot of
it did.
money.
and it
Ton of
looked
money.
good. I mean, animation was obviously good, and they're gonna whatever. I don't know. They're gonna make all those other movies and make a universe. I'll never watch it again.
Yeah, it's kind of exactly what you think. Like it's a movie that like my kids loved. But,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I thought it was totally fine. It's
Yeah.
like it's exactly what you think an Illumination Super Mario Brothers animated film would be. It is what it is.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
Haven't seen it.
Yeah. Unless you're just itching to see it, I don't know why you would watch
I
it.
don't know why you would be, but got that itch.
Next, we have Black Demon. 'Cause I know you watched this, so we didn't watch Black Demon.
No, I did not.
Josh
And-
Lucas Best, maybe.
I would not recommend it at all.
I don't think anybody else watched this movie. So
Yeah, my wife's into, natural disaster movies and shark movies and things
those
that happen
together.
under
a
deep,
natural disaster is a shark.
in the
Yes.
deep, and just caves and all this stuff. And so she was like, "Yeah, let's check it out." So we did, and it was so good that about a quarter of the way through we turned it off.
Good.
And
Oh, she never even finished it?
No, we did not finish.
I
It
didn't
was
know that, I
so
guess.
bad. Just the graphics, the shark, everything it just looked horrible, and the
Good.
story just wasn't good enough to capture your interest. Even if you've got a decent, compelling story, and the graphics are bad, you might be able to just get through it. No, it just didn't work on any level.
I can't believe we're talking about a movie that only one of us watched 30 minutes
I didn't know
of.
you didn't finish it.
It was so
It's
bad.
okay.
I could not
Yeah, I think
even
it
begin
has
to recommend
Like
it.
a 3 or 4 IMDb or something like that.
Oh,
nice.
that's high.
Next we have Fair Play, which is go to Hulu.
Netflix.
Okay, the other one's who then? But this one it was okay. It's I can never think of that guy's name. Han Solo.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Thank you, I'm gonna call him Han Solo. Even though he's not a good Han Solo, but Alden, he is pretty good in this act. You know, he can act finally. I don't know the girl's name, but I like this. It's basically just about like these two people that are dating. No one knows they're dating. They work at the same like firm,
It's like
or
hedge fund
corporation, and one of them gets the job of being the boss of the other, and you have to watch how they take that. And like, you know, I didn't like the ending. I thought it was pretty good until the ending, and the ending's kind of like, bye.
I didn't really like the third act either.
Yeah.
I think this is a very interesting psychological drama about workplace and power and things like that. I think it's really interesting, better than most Netflix original films.
I agree with that.
And I think the performances are really good. Alden Ehrenreich had a sneaky good year. I mean, honestly, for what he gave 3 very different performances with Cocaine Bear, Oppenheimer, and then Fair Play. I'm just saying, like, he gave very different performances. Like, hats off to him. He had a good 2023. And this movie was pretty good. It's worth checking out if you're in the mood for just like a interesting psychological drama kind of.
Besides this podcast, I really hadn't even heard of this movie. So
Cool.
It kind of came and went. It's I don't know if I can recommend it. The third act really falls apart, doesn't it?
so
I didn't think it totally ruined the movie, but I think it is the.
It just kind of ends.
Hmm.
There's not like I don't know. It was a little frustrating, but I had a good time with it. We're probably gonna do like 3 or 4 more. It stops at a good point there. So, next is one of Matt's favorite movies, Fast X or Fast 10, depending on how you want to look at the Roman numeral itself. This one was better than F9. We can all agree on that one.
I agree.
Right?
Yes.
Can we agree with that one? Maybe you can't.
I do.
don't know.
I don't know.
I had a good time with it. It's over the top. At this point, all of them are. I mean, the last good one was Fast 5. It's probably the best one. I like all these movies enough that I'll probably gonna watch this again when the new one comes out because it's like a part 1. No one knew that, of course, going in. It ends with a crazy sequence. You know, Jason Momoa eats the screen, baby.
Yeah, he does.
He's
the best part of this
He is
film.
the
He
best
is,
part. I mean,
without a
yeah,
doubt.
there's a lot of dumb stuff happening. That's all I'll say. 'Cause we have a full review of this, but I was entertained enough. These movies are entertaining to me, so
Yeah.
they're not good. They're okay.
Jason Momoa's character in Fast X is the only one that has any energy in this film whatsoever. He's the only one that really brings it, that is having a good time. Everybody else is just there to be Vin Diesel's whipping boy. I do not like the last 6 entries of this franchise. I had some fun with Furious 7. That's the last one. That I
So
had
you
some
hate
fun
these?
with.
So you hate this franchise?
They're just hurt my freaking head. I mean, they're just so stupid. And I understand they're meant to be just turn your brain off, have fun kind of movies. I can't do that. I just can't even have. I can do that with a lot of films. I can't do it with these films. And then the thing, most of the film was just stupidity. You know, most of the film was just big dumb action, which is what you expect. And then the way this film ends is just so lazy and insulting to literally everyone who sat through it for 2 hours. They're just like, hey, audience, up yours. The entire it's just so lazy and so stupid. That's why I'm just like, screw you, Fast.
It was the year of part 1s. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, these movies aren't great. Jason Momoa cranked it up for me a little bit.
He cranks it.
Yeah.
Crank something.
And so
He cranked that Soldier Boy.
I actually had fun with this one mainly because of him.
Yeah.
The way his over the top acting, his just insane crazy character that he plays. I actually enjoyed it because of that, and yeah, I kind of look forward to the sequel.
Yeah, man. Fast
Oh, wow.
11. Or
I'd rather
whatever
stick plastic forks in my eyes.
We're going to watch it so you can get over it. Next, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Good MCU movie. One of the better ones that have come out for sure. Very, very heartbreaking story. Not what you'd expect an MCU movie to do. I liked almost everything about this movie. The action's good. They just do the whole thing where, like, I don't know if Star-Lord could have really got through the end of this, but whatever. He lives in space for a long time there. Because in the first one, he about dies in space in 20 seconds. This one, he's in space for about 15 minutes, it feels like. But it's fine.
I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah. Overall, though, I liked it a lot. I don't think it's better than the first Guardians. I don't know what I said in the first one. I don't know if I said it was better or not when we reviewed it, but
Yeah.
I like this one a lot. It's probably a top 10 for me on MCU. So
Yeah, I had a good time with this for sure. I think Guardians 3 does a good job of balancing the fun, wacky humor you would expect from the Guardians films, while also being low key devastating. It's it's a very powerful story. That's like, I'm sitting here going, am I about to cry over like some little raccoon, little creepy looking animal? Am I about to cry over this? And some very good action sequences and stuff. A decent end to the Guardians trilogy for sure. I'm glad.
Yeah, and they might make more Guardians. It's not with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I enjoyed this movie. I still think the first one is the better movie though.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you called me heartless by the end of it because I just did not. You met because I
That
just
sounds like me.
because I did not get that connection.
I don't remember that, but that sounds like me.
Because I did not get that connection with the raccoon throughout the movie.
His name is Rocket.
Yeah, I just did not get the.
One animal named Floor, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I just did not get into it as much as you guys did as far as the emotional aspect of it. But I thought overall the movie was good. Enjoyed it quite a bit. Like I said, probably the second favorite in the franchise. But, yeah, it was a good movie.
There's nothing better than an action scene with a Beastie Boys song behind it. They do this and Super Mario Brothers.
It's like an epic one shot with No Sleep Till Brooklyn playing in the background. You can't ask for more than that.
Super Mario Brothers is the same thing. Isn't that weird that those two movies have Beastie Boys?
It's great.
around it? Whatever,
That's
man.
wild.
It works. And last one we'll talk about today, kind of a pretty good one to stop with, Anatomy of a Fall. Anatomy of a Fall is the newest, like, court drama. I would say it's a court drama, right? I mean, sure. It's a lot of it's in the court. Really good movie. It's foreign, so some of those people out there are like, I have to read it.
There's a good portion in English too.
Yeah.
she can do both. It's basically about if she killed her husband or not, if he fell out a window or she pushed him, and by the end you get to pick for yourself through the kid. The only person there that can help is their blind son.
Mm-hmm.
So as you know, he can't see. So it's kind of like it's an interesting way that the only person around was blind, and so he kind of got to go back and forth. I thought it was really, really good, and it got nominated for a lot of stuff, and ended up winning.
It won for best screenplay. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought it deserved it. It's a little long, 2.5 hours. I don't think it was for me, but people can see that. But I liked it a lot. So
yeah, I thought Anatomy of a Fall. After I watched this, I was kind of at a loss for words with this. It kind of just left me stunned. I'm like, man, this movie was something. I mean, it was a very riveting courtroom drama with a real, I guess, moral dilemma at the center of it, I guess you could say, whether or not this woman killed her husband or not. And by the end of the film, you don't necessarily get the answers that you want, but I think that's also the point of the film. I don't know. It's just one of those films that left me thinking about it a long time after the film ended. I thought it was very, very good.
Yeah, I thought this movie was fantastic. What's her name again? I can't remember.
Sandra Hüller.
Yeah. I've seen her in a few things. Of course, she was in What's Zone of Interest, right?
Mm-hmm.
yes, she was.
But I've seen her in a couple of other things besides that also, and she brings it every time. This story itself was just compelling. It takes you, into the mind of like the people who are trying to prosecute her. You don't know if she's innocent, guilty, whatever. By the end, you still don't know if she's guilty, innocent, whatever. But it was such a good story that by the end, it just brought you in. It took you in. It was fantastic. You said it was like 2.5 hours long.
I think it is. Yeah.
Did not feel like it. There's so many movies we watch that 2.5 hours long. You're looking at your watch, going, "Oh my gosh, still got another half hour in this thing." This one, it wasn't like that at all. It was just so good, so compelling. The movie was just great.
It had some really captivating performances too. I mean, the kid was exceptional.
The dog, I thought we brought that in. Yes,
the dog was very, very good. I can't think of a better dog performance.
Airbud, but whatever. He played basketball.
My dog Skip, maybe. I don't know. But the dog was great. No, really and truly, the fantastic performances of this movie was incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that'll be the end of the review today. We'll hopefully get to finish it next week. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed that. I don't know.
Okay, I guess
that's
we
what
were
we got.
we were just calling it. We were wrapping it up today. We've been going through some stuff today. But yeah, thank you to the beautiful listener out there for sitting through this with us. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, what are some of your you can reach out to us, hit us up, and let us know what you thought about this episode. You can let us know what do you think about some of the news we talked about, some of the films that we've watched, some of the best of films of 2023, whatever you think. You can reach out to us and let us know. You can find us pretty much on any social media at Movie Matrix Pod. You can hit us up there, or if you'd like to reach out to us on Letterboxd, you can do that. Jordan is Jordan Reviews 21 on Letterboxd. I am Matt Diggs Film on Letterboxd, and David is Farming Films, spelled with PHs. You can hit us up there. Hit us up on any socials, like I was saying, YouTube, and so on and so forth. But yeah, until next time, signing off for Matt, Jordan, and David. We will see you guys then.
Peace.